I've been doing YouTube for about a year and a half to 2 years now, and I'm not a massive channel. I've only got about 2,500 subscribers at the time of recording this video. So some of you might say, well, I'm not really qualified to talk about this. Well, you're absolutely right. I'm not necessarily, but if you're just starting YouTube, I wanted to really give you my perceptions of what's important and what's not, and give you 8 tips of, how to progress with your YouTube career, if you like. So, tip number 1. I've written these down because there's no way I'm going to remember them. Tip number 1 is that you absolutely have to love what you're doing. You cannot sort of be sort of like, yeah, it's all right, I'll do it occasionally. You have to love what you're doing, and you have to really want to do it, because otherwise you will simply not be able to commit to the extent that you will need to commit, which goes on to tip number 2. It will absolutely take a lot of work. Don't think for a moment that you can become a big YouTuber or a big channel without work. You have to put out content, you have to produce content regularly, and it will take time. The majority of the channels that you see that are large and have millions of subscribers have been doing this for a long time. They've been doing it potentially for 5 years or more, or they had a very particular boost to start with because of some kind of celebrity show, or they were previously a celebrity. But they're just a small channel. If you take some of the channels that I look at, like that I watch, sort of techie stuff like the 8-Bit Guy or Techmoan. If you look at this sort of stuff Matt does on Techmoan, the time he must put into that and the work he must put into some of those videos around research is incredible. There really is a lot of work that goes into this stuff. So don't think for a second that you can do this on a whim. It will take a lot of work. Number 3, SEO, so search engine optimization. SEO is important, but I am convinced that there are a lot of people overemphasizing its importance in order to make a lot of money. And I think I'm going to sort of possibly open a can of worms with this one, because there will be people that come back and say, oh my God, it's absolutely essential. And yes, it is essential. It's essential that you understand how it works. It's essential that you get the basics down as to, how important SEO can be, but don't obsess about it. Don't worry about it too much. Don't think, oh my God, if my tags aren't absolutely perfect, my video will not do well and I won't get any subscribers, I won't get any views. Your video will do well if your content is good, and your video will do well if it's giving viewers something they want to see. The videos that have done best on my channel probably had the worst SEO, because some of them are older, and I'm not saying they've done well just because they've been online longer. Some of them have just done better. And the reason is because it was a video that was missing out there. It was something that people wanted. It showed something in a different way to someone else. That's what's important. Content is king. It's true for photography. It's true for videography. Everything. Content is king. Don't worry too much about SEO. Learn the basics, get it right, pay attention to it, but don't obsess about it. That is a really something I'm really keen to get across, because I just think there's a lot of people kind of making too much of a big deal about stuff they really don't know about, because these things are controlled and set by a business that is making money, YouTube, Google, and they will prioritize stuff based on what will make them the most money. Let's not worry too much about tags and things like that. It's based on view time. It's based on good content. What's going to get them the views? What's going to get them to be able to promote other products, other videos that will make them more money as well? It's all down to that. So, don't worry about it too much. Okay, number 4, invest in a good mic. Audio is everything. Video, you can have really rubbish looking video, but if your mic is rubbish, it's just annoying to watch. It's annoying to listen to, I suppose I should say more accurately. invest in a good mic. The mic I'm using on this camera at the moment is a shotgun mic. It's a Rode NTG3. It retails at about $400 or $500. You don't need to spend that much money on a microphone. You can get a good mic for maybe £50, £100. Sorry, I'm switching currencies here, aren't I? £50, £100. But it's a good thing to invest in. You can film it on a rubbish iPhone 5 or iPhone 4 or something. Get the audio right and it will be great to watch. Honestly, invest in a good mic. Don't worry too much about the visuals. Right, number 5, focus on your content. So I know for a fact that this is something I don't do. I know that I get this wrong. I know that a lot of the subscribers to my channel will be thinking, why am I making a video about tips for new YouTubers? Because when I subscribed to this channel, it was because you did a video on audio stuff, and someone else would be thinking, well, I thought you did video stuff because you do a lot of DaVinci Resolve stuff. Absolutely right. I do a massive varied amount of stuff on this channel because I do what I want to do. And that's really important because I love the stuff I do, and I do whatever I want to do. It's my channel. That's my choice. And yes, it will impact the number of views I get on vids. It will impact my subscribers. I'm not too worried about that. But if you are more worried about that, try and focus on your specialist area, because then you will gain a following who know the kind of stuff that they're going to get from you. So going back to the reference to Techmoan, people know they get that kind of retro hi-fi stuff from him, and it's brilliant. I mean, I love some of the stuff he comes up with. It's wonderful. So number 6, videos can be slow burners. A lot of the time people say, I put a video up and it hasn't got any views. Well, I can put videos up sometimes and occasionally they will do nothing for 2 or 3 months, and then maybe they'll get embedded on a site somewhere, someone will pick them up and they'll reference them or something like that. They'll just get promoted somewhere else and they can really start to build and snowball over time. Don't worry that if you put up a video and it doesn't have views on it within sort of a week or two, give it time, leave them up, and you'll notice that videos that you put that are sort of 30th or 40th down your list on your video manager within YouTube have suddenly started to do really well, and your top rating videos are the ones that did nothing to start with, just because they've been picked up by a particular channel or a particular website. So you can look at all that sort of stuff on the analytics. You can maybe find out what the sudden increase of maybe traffic from a certain country is, and then go back to find out what website it was put on, or who discussed it in a forum or something like that. So don't worry too much about the initial response to videos. Some will be really, really fast. And yes, there is some argument around making that initial impact, and YouTube will then rank them higher. I'm sure that's probably true. But a video can also snowball over time and do well over time. Okay, number 7, never compare yourself with others. If you sit there and think, oh, that person does that really well, I'm going to copy them, don't do that. Just absolutely do not do that. Learn from other people and learn sort of the techniques they use and improve your techniques, based on that learning, but don't copy someone else thinking that you're going to get views because they do something a certain way. If you do that, you won't be able to maintain it. It won't be you, and you won't end up loving what you're doing, and you'll end up sort of basically, you just can't keep it up, so to speak. Am I getting? So, yes, you know what I mean. Anyway, you just can't do it over a long period of time. So this is getting worse, isn't it? Right, move on. Number 8. I mentioned before about SEO being important, but don't obsess about it. But you do need to promote yourself. I see YouTube as being like setting up a business in a town with a big population, but not a mass, not an endless, infinite population. You're setting up a business doing, in my case, sort of tech tutorials and photography and video tutorials in an arena that has about 20,000 other people doing the same thing, probably more than that, really. So you're setting up a business in a place where there are 20,000 other people doing the same thing. Why would you do that? Well, because it's YouTube and you want to. So It's fine. There's no cost associated with it apart from your time and your passion for the subject. So you will need to promote yourself because you will need to let people know why they want to go to you instead, and that you exist. Because if people have got a big row of shops of 20,000, all people doing the same, you need to point yourself out and say, come and have a look at my stuff. And, you know, don't do it in a spammy way because everyone hates it. You know, don't go onto Reddit and just say, this is me, or don't go onto a forum and just post up stuff that's irrelevant. Keep it on topic and people will appreciate it. There's nothing wrong with promoting yourself. You have to do it because otherwise people won't hear about you. Easy as that. There's 8. As a 9th, I would say get a website that you can tie your content with, but you know, you've probably got a website already, and you know, don't rely on YouTube to be your only sort of outlet for your videos and outlet for other content. Try and have a website alongside your YouTube channel if you can. I just thought of that one now as a 9th tip as well. They're the things I think that stand out the most to me as a YouTuber with only a small number of subs, as I said. If you are new to the game, if you're new to YouTube, please, you know, take a listen to that. Let me know what you think, and I hope it's useful to you. And yeah, good luck.